Hey guys, so it's time for another video, and came down to Texas today, or this weekend, to maybe do a little bit of work on the future homestead site. And I wanted to do a video today about first aid. And I'm not going to tell you how to do first aid. I'm not trained to train people in first aid. As a matter of fact, all I have right now is basic first aid type training. So it's not band-aids and stuff like that is basically all I'm good for. But what I wanted to talk about is being prepared in the eventuality that something happens. When I was younger, I was a Boy Scout, and I did a lot of hiking. We did a lot of, did the Philmont trip and High Point and the Appalachian Trail and stuff like that. And, we always had first aid kits. Everybody took the first aid merit badge. And we were all basically that basic level of training for first aid. And luckily, nothing ever happened. A couple of skin knees and maybe some stickers, some bee stings, thorns, stuff like that. But nothing ever really happened. No broken bones, no, just crazy stuff like falling off a cliff or anything like that. Not even, as far as I can think, not even like a sprained ankle or anything the entire time that I was with Scouts. And then, doing some hiking on my own, and never had any issues. So, I always carry a first aid kit, and it's very basic. And I think it's important not just for hiking and bushcraft, but also for homesteading. Being self-reliant, you would want to treat your injuries if something, God forbid, should happen. And I think it's always important to have a basic kit with you. Now, again, I'm not trained to discuss first aid in how to treat injuries and stuff like that. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, you should probably go check out Graybeard Green Beret on YouTube. He's got a few videos about that sort of thing, and he's got some links to get some good kits, and I believe he does a first aid training program, Woodcraft Wilderness first aid training program. He and a couple of other ex Special Forces guys run a survival safety wilderness program, and they talk about that stuff. So go check out Graybeard Green Beret if you're more, want more information about that stuff. What I want to talk about is just basic preparedness, and let me tell you why. The last time I was out here, we were cutting some trees. I think I have a couple of videos of taking down some of these trees that were out here. You can see there's one. Took down some trees, trying to clear out the land, and there are hazards and dangers associated with a chainsaw and cutting trees. Cut yourself, tree falls the wrong way, you can pretty much have a serious tragedy with a tree falling the wrong direction. Well, that didn't happen the last time I was here. But what did happen This is, I guess that's why they call it an accident. You know, I cut a tree down and it went fine. No problems, no issues. And came through with the chainsaw after it was down, and I started limbing the down tree. And as I was taking some limbs off, the tree shifted, which could have been a serious problem. No, it didn't fall on me. But what did happen was I stepped back out of the way so I didn't get crushed by a tree. And I stumbled on some downed branches behind me, and I fell straight back on my butt. Not a big deal, right? But there was a lot of little branches and stuff like that. You can see maybe right there how there's branches. After we cut trees down, branches everywhere. And one of those branches impaled my arm. It wasn't terrible, just a big gouge. It's healed up well. I'm not complaining. But it bled. A little chunk of meat was missing, and it bled pretty good. Hey, I have a first aid kit. Everything's fine. I'll just, wipe it down, put a Band-Aid on it, right? Well, the thing I figured out was that my little first aid kit is not comprehensive enough. I needed maybe some gauze. I needed some larger Band-Aids or pads. Cleaned it up. M was with me. Miss M was there and looking at it with me and got it tended to, but it bled pretty good. And even after I covered it, it continued to bleed. And I did not have a Band-Aid or gauze pad or anything big enough to cover and help stop the bleeding. All I have is those smaller finger width Band-Aids, the ones I'm talking about, the typical Band-Aid type Band-Aids, and stuff like that in my little kit. Things for cuts and scrapes and little abrasions and that sort of stuff, but I was not prepared for a large gouge in my arm, and it bled. And that got me to thinking, I thought I was prepared. It's the kit I always bring with me. It goes in my little bag and get cuts and scrapes and things like that. And there's some bug bite stuff in there and alcohol pads and that sort of stuff. But I was not prepared. So I'm going to have to redo my first aid kit. And it's not that big a deal. The main house out here was only 100 yards away, so we walked over to M's trailer and kind of looked at it a little better in the light and got it a little bit better covered up, but my kit was lacking. Now, I was cutting trees with a chainsaw. I personally have never cut into my foot or my shin or anything like that with an axe or a saw or anything, but I've heard of it happening. And I was using a chainsaw and I was not prepared. Like I said, the house is only 100 yards away, but if my finger was on that trigger when I tripped and stumbled back, the possibility of that happening is slim, but it could happen. And I was not prepared. And even though that house is not very far away, those couple of minutes between here and the house could have been a big deal. You know, if I had punctured the femoral artery, or you know, I don't know all the different veins and arteries running all over your body. There's a lot of other people that are more qualified to discuss that sort of stuff. But you know, I know what the femoral is, and what if that stick was a little further down when I fell flat on my butt and on my back? You know, could have punctured that artery, could have punctured my skull, could have punctured my spine. That probably wouldn't have been good. So I have to rethink my first aid kit. Even homesteading, you should probably have a kit with you. You should definitely have a kit for hiking and bushcraft and rock hopping like I do out here out at Mount Scott in Oklahoma. Should have a kit. You should have probably, you know, a little more comprehensive. I should have a little more comprehensive kit for, you know, what if I cut something serious? What if I broke a bone? What ifs, what ifs, what ifs? That's why we prepare, and it applies to the homestead. Like I said, you want to be self-sufficient, you have to be prepared for, sorry, there's little gnats everywhere out here. You have to be prepared to be self-reliant for every eventuality. So I'm going to rethink my little first aid kit. It's small and compact, and it fits in my bag perfectly and doesn't take up a lot of space. But maybe I need to give up some space to make sure I have a larger kit. I don't do a whole lot of hiking all that often, but I am out here once a month cutting and clearing and doing, and the plan is to move out here and raise goats and raise chickens and maybe some cows and have a garden for canning and preserving and that sort of stuff. And all of those outdoor activities come with the potential for something to happen. So I'm gonna rethink my kit and make a little room in my bag just in case, because you never know. I didn't expect to fall and be impaled by a stick on the ground, but who does? You know. So tell me what you guys do. Do you carry first aid kits on you? Do you know how to use your first aid kit? Like I said, I'm not very... I have some basic first aid skills, but nothing... if I were to get seriously injured, or somebody with me was to get seriously injured. Do you have those skills? Do you practice those skills? Do you renew your certifications regularly? Do you carry a kit with you at all times? I think that's important. You know, what do you guys do? You know, I'm out here on the farm and doing my thing, and you know, I'm always carrying a knife on me. You know, different blades for different things. This is my EDC that I almost always have on me when I'm out here. But I have some bigger knives. I have some pocket knives. I always carry a fixed blade and pocket knife on me. And one little slip. Do you know how to treat it? Do you know what to do if you cut a finger off, if you got a big gash in your arm, or somebody in your group does, do you know how to treat that? You know, out here on the farm, I don't typically carry in town, but out here on the farm, carry a firearm with me. There are wild animals out here. If you've ever had to deal with those Texas hogs, they can be pretty mean. We've got coyotes, and there's a big cat that comes through here every so often and likes to take a goat or two. So I carry a firearm, just in case. Now, do you know how to treat a gunshot wound if you're carrying a firearm? Do you know what's needed? Do you have a kit to stabilize somebody, just in case? Things to think about. You want to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, not count on a government, that sort of things. Gotta prepare for all eventualities, I think. I was not prepared. Something to think about. I pride myself on being prepared. Like I said, I was a Boy Scout. What's the motto? Be prepared. I wasn't. Things happen. Camping, hiking, bushcrafting, homesteading, off-grid living, whatever you want to call it. Things happen. Things happen. I'm just going to sit on this branch and hopefully it'll hold my weight. That's funny. So, leave a comment. Do you have the skills? Do you have the training? Do you have the kit? If you don't, maybe you should. Maybe you should take a class. Basic first aid's fine, I think. If you want something advanced, hey, I'm all for it. Go take an advanced class. Go take an EMT class. I know local fire departments in many areas have first aid classes. I think there are other programs around, like American Red Cross and that sort of stuff, that may offer some classes. Go get a class. Go get certified. Learn the basics. Carry kit with you. Know how to use your kit. Know what's in it. Know how to use it. Make sure it's comprehensive enough for what your needs could be. I was not prepared. Maybe you guys are. Tell me what you think. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Just in case. All right. I think that covers it. So, like, share, leave a comment. I really want some interaction, some more interaction with you guys. Helps me learn, helps you learn, helps us all grow in this outdoor skills community that we're all a part of out here. So, sorry, there's some dogs over there. I brought my dogs with me to the farm this weekend, and they're out there playing with Miss M's dog. So anyway, like, share, leave a comment. Tell me what you guys do. Are you skilled? Tell me about your kit, what you need. And we all live in different environments. We all have different needs. Different needs require different materials. So tell me what you use, what you carry, what you keep. Until then, have fun, be safe, stay free, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, out.